And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. Pro Wrestling Central is once again, yet again, finally, after so many months, we are live yet again on Instagram. Welcome one, welcome all as you all start rolling in. As you all know, I am the CEO of PWC, your boy Nashville, and I'm going to be joined very, very shortly on this live by the legal bald eagle himself, Jeremy. And we're going to be giving you our live right here on Instagram. Like we said, we were going to go live with these predictions. We're not going to pre-record them and put up on YouTube. I mean, this might, maybe this might go on YouTube later on. But you're going to get it live right here, right now on Instagram. The live predictions, thoughts, and predictions on WWE's Crown Jewel 2023 live in the Kingdom of Redacted. And like I said, next week Saturday at 6 p.m. we will be here again, live right back at it, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. depending on the start time. I'm not sure if there's going to be a match on the pre-show or the kickoff, but if there is, we will be here. If not, then we're going to kick it off at 7. But we will be live for Crown Jewel, and you guys are going to be able to join us. Watch along. You might just see me and Jeremy, or you might see some familiar faces. You never know. So, I'm just going to wait for the legal bald eagle before we start things. Just sending him a text real quick. This is as live as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, we are live, as I said, right here on PWC Pro Wrestling Central Instagram page. If you haven't, followed us, follow us. Click on the follow button. And if you want to join us on the live, if you want to give your predictions and thoughts, come on in. Click join and we'll let you in, and you guys can join us as well for the predictions. And we're gonna give them to you live right here, right now. So, as of Friday night on SmackDown, up until Thursday, there was only 5 matches announced on the card. And we, on Friday, there was 2 more matches added, so now 7. So we're going to predict on what we currently have, which is a 7. We also put up a poll on our Twitter page. I don't know if you guys were aware. I mean, you should have. If you're following us on Pro Wrestling CE1 on Twitter, you would know we had a poll that we put up on Monday with the 5 matches. Well, at 4 of the 5 matches. The reason why I couldn't put the 5th one is because it's a fatal 5-way, and for some reason, Twitter only allows you to have up to 4 options, which is whack. But anyways, it is what it is, So when it comes to Elimination Chamber matches, we probably can't even do the poll on Twitter. We're going to have to find other mediums or ways of doing it. If you guys know, comment down below. Comment down below if there's other options or other places we can place polls where we can have more options than 4 or 6. Then we can actually, have the polls up. But I've got the results here of the 4 matches we put up. You guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're going to read it out for you as we go along with these predictions. The 4 matches that were announced, or 4 of the matches that we could have, were voted on a poll for you guys. So, yeah, and I do have the 5 matches in front of me. I'm going to break them down for you when Jeremy comes here. I want to read out the card right in front of him so that, we have something to go by. So I'm just gonna check something real quick. Don't mind me, guys. So when Jeremy does come on, we are actually going to. I think I can actually let him in. I see something. Oh, I can't. Okay, Jeremy, if you can see, you're gonna have to. Let me just see if I can't add him myself, or okay, Jeremy, you're in the comments. I see you say that you're here. You gotta click on the little thing at the bottom that shows 2 people, like one standing behind the other. So you just gotta click there and say join, and then I can let you in because it's not letting me invite you on. So just do that. It'll pop up on my screen, and then I can let you in. And by pop up, I mean, pop up on the screen, not pop up, So Seems to pop up 2 or 3 times a day. All right, ladies. He is about to show up. He is about to. I have let the inmates into the asylum. He joined
I have
my
arrived at it.
private room.
No, wait, hold on.
Oh my
Sorry, I'm
word,
little
that's going to
wet.
be
I
fun.
had to run outside. The storm, the storm is storming.
I can't
Apologies
hear a
for my
damn
bit
thing.
of. That girl's so nice. That girl.
Okay, we have 2 viewers. That's amazing for a week of advertising. 2 viewers, fantastic. So,
And I think there's someone else from our office from work on here.
I
Hi,
think I see
Maria.
them. Yeah, I see them. I see them. Well, this is what you do on your weekends. Now you've been
Yep.
exposed. Jeremy has been
Again.
exposed. Well, at least this time I didn't say I'm letting you into my private room. But even if I did, it's a Sunday. You can't complain. Or do you want me to invite you into a coffee couch?
No, what has happened to you? You've like just veered off you veered off into the high grass into the tall grass again. What's going on here?
The tall
He's talking
grass.
about
What do you
private room.
mean? You're not
When
insane?
that normally comes out at like hour 2. That's like it's 3 minutes in, dude.
I may have had a drink or two, and not the kind of drinks you guys are thinking.
Yeah, you're
Despite
drinking Coke.
despite what this poster might have you think, I'm not. I don't support the South African breweries.
That
But yeah, he
is
likes coffee. That guy that
awesome.
just might want to say that might or might not be coffee that's in there. We're not sure. We're
No,
not
no,
gonna confirm
no. Look,
nothing.
the previous members of PwC that I used to get on with quite well for like broadcasts aren't here. We all know what happened with that WrestleMania video. See, Maria's right. Maria knows exactly what's in there. There's tea in there.
Yeah, because she hasn't seen the WrestleMania the 38 video predictions. Nasty.
That was bad.
Anyway, so guys, thank you for joining us. We have been gone for a long time, and
Yeah.
I've been saying that way too often these days. We need to start like doing this more regularly, and we've put a plan in place where we're going to start doing more predictions, more watch-alongs regularly. So just bear with us, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get the ball rolling. So what we're here to discuss right now, right now, is the WWE Crown Jewel 2023 card as it stands right now, as it is today. And of course, it is taking place in the Kingdom of Redacted. Hence why I'm wearing this green shirt. Although now you probably guys who've been watching this channel long enough probably think this is the only shirt I own. I'm
Yes.
not going to confirm or deny that.
I am going to
In
get
fact,
you a green Liverpool shirt and send it down to you. I don't believe
I
this thing about you and Spurs anymore, and I refuse. And I'm going to take the opportunity to turn you once and for all. I will turn you heel. Let's say that, right? I'll turn you
what if I
face.
choose Manchester?
Okay,
What if
guys,
I
thanks for watching
choose
along. I'm out.
what if I choose Michael Owen? Okay, now I'm pushing it. Let's get back on track with WWE Crown Jewel in the Kingdom of Redacted. So on Monday, we actually put out a poll on our Twitter. I have actually opened it up. Some of you have voted, so thanks. We had 5 matches as of Monday, but I only could put up 4. The reason being, and I explained this to the guys before you jumped on, for some reason, Twitter doesn't allow you to put more than 4 options. And with a Fatal 5-way, you have to have 5 options. I don't know why you can only put 4. So I left the match out completely because I didn't want to, leave one of the competitors out in case somebody wanted to vote for them. So I have the predictions here, the poll. I will read it as we go along with the matches. But let's start it from the top, start it from the bottom. Now we're here. This is what the card looked like, and I'm just going to read out the 7 matches that we currently have. As of SmackDown, 2 matches were added, so we're from 5, we're now at 7. I'm going to read out the card as it stands right now, and Jeremy's going to give me his thoughts once I'm done. So, at the top of the card, we have the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns will be taking on, you know whose game it is. Will everybody say it with me? L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, the former chosen one. Then we have the Women's World Championship Elimination Style Fatal 5-Way. I like that.
Is
I
it an
love
elimination
elimination
match?
style. Yes, if you check the official, card, it says
I
elimination
do
style. So
like an elimination style match.
Yep, I love elimination style. This is going to be awesome. Even though it's taking place in Saudi Arabia, so all the women are going to be fully clothed, but I don't mind. So we have the champion. Since WrestleMania, she has been the champion, Rhea Ripley from Judgment Day, versus one of Jeremy's favorites, Nia Jax. I know she's a big fan of golf, mainly because there's holes on golf courses, so I think that's why she's a fan. Versus one of our other Pro Wrestling Central quote unquote members, you could say. He goes by the name of Shady. You guys may have seen him on our watch alongs at some point at Clash of the
Oh
Castle
yeah,
last year.
he has come on before.
Yeah, we had someone before. That's horrible. If he sees this, he's the someone that we used to know. His favorite wrestler, Shayna Baszler, is in here versus the very desperado smiley face, hurting smiley face Raquel Rodriguez versus the daughter of, you guys don't
Tony
know
Stark.
this, she's actually the daughter of Tony Stark.
I knew exactly where
Hashtag,
you were going. This is weird. This is so weird because I know your humor now, even before it comes out.
I'm so
I'm
predictable.
now worried about myself. So yeah,
Just so you know, you did this, Jeremy. This is your fault.
I have
So
no
who
idea
am I
what you're
talking
talking
about?
about. No, no
So
clue.
who am I talking about? It's Zoe Stark. For those of you who like Zoe Stark, tweet out hashtag I love you 3000 in support of the recently demised Tony. Then we have the WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair with her long braid. And yes, I just did say Io like a South African because I'm trying to celebrate the fact of my South Africanness because we are the world rugby champions of the
Again,
world. Thank you very
again.
much.
You need to
Again,
acknowledge us
time. We're the only four-time champs. Four-time, 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 four-time.
like that.
Then we have for the WWE United States Championship, Hall of Famer, WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio versus everybody's
Ooh.
favorite YouTuber that we love to hate, Logan Paul. Then we have two singles matches. First up, it is the quote unquote, I hate this title they gave him, the greatest of all time. Oh, woohoo. John Cena versus the enforcer of the bloodline, Solo Sikoa. And then we have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus, and this one's for Jeremy, versus Damien and Priest. Okay, he's one person now. I hope you've got that down pat now that he's been
I'm glad
one
the
person for a
Judgment Day
while.
fixed his split personality. Those
So we're
guys
gonna
are
start.
those guys are seriously. I'm sure they have some type of PhD with like psychiatry and everything else. They're amazing. They fixed him. So
They
happy.
did such a wonderful job with him. He's coming to his own.
Yeah. Well
Keep
done,
that
guys.
PG. So we're gonna do a Drake. We're gonna start from the bottom and then we're gonna get there to the top. Starting from the lowest match on the card, which is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. But before we do that, actually, I was going to get Jeremy's thoughts on the entire card. But yeah, so now that I've read out the 7 matches, WWE Crown Jewel has 7 matches. So I'll give you my thoughts. I like this. I like the card that is lean, that is I don't like bloated cards. The AEW have fallen into the
Well,
trap that WWE was doing.
I was literally watching my clock here, waiting for the first AEW reference. 12 minutes in. Well done. I was wondering how long that was going to take.
Listen, even though we've excommunicated him from our family, Tony is still biologically my uncle. I have to give him a shout out at least once per match. It's a contractual obligation.
It's contractually obligated. I need to
The
shout out
same
my uncle.
reason- It's the same reason why I have to do WWE predictions. Nick Khan is also my uncle, so I have to. I like this lean cards, not too many matches. It's going to give each match a good amount of time, and we don't want to sit through 5 to 6 hours of wrestling. It's way too much. We like
Yeah.
lean cards. We like good cards. I like the thing in the stands. Some
I
good
like
names, good
I think
matches.
this is a good card. I think it is a good card. They've only got one multi-person match on the thing. Would have liked a tag team match, if I'm honest with you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, it just would elevate um, the whole tag team division. I think that's why they went. I think maybe we can't because of the whole Cody and Damian Priest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would change it still. Who knows?
Nah, I don't think so. These look like marquee matches from what I'm looking at. Like I wouldn't break up the singles matches into tags. It looks perfectly fine as it is. And
No, I mean just add in Jay and Finn Balor, unless Balor's got a knock, which I think
I
he might
don't
be.
know because Bella hasn't been very active. He's been mostly on
I,
promos. So it's
I
that
think he has. I think he's picked up a knock somewhere along the line,
mm,
and probably they're just trying to keep him off, the same way they did with KO. I'm fine with that as long as the guy's not going to get hurt any further. But yeah, let's jump right in. Seeing that we've started talking about Cody and Damian, I
yep.
don't know about this one. I don't know. I have a feel this is going to tie in later on, right? But I have a feeling Cody wins because whenever they do a cash in, and it's worked a while back with Rollins, and it's so fitting that they do it with Rollins here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Priest loses. Cody needs to win. They need to start making Cody into that steamroller again, going into Rumble and WrestleMania season. They're going to finish the story. One way or the other, the story needs to finish, and it has to finish at WrestleMania. That being said, I'm not sure which title they finish it with. I'm not sure which title they finish it with. Just hang on here while I go on a little bit of a tangent. Theoretically, it
Okay.
makes sense for them to have him win the World Heavyweight Championship. That's the title that his dad didn't win. And I think as far as lineage is concerned, Rhodes needs to win that title.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the rematch from last year is concerned, I can see that happening as well with Reigns. But at the same time, and I'm really throwing everything away here right at the top. I'm jumping around all around. I wouldn't mind seeing LA Knight win. I know it's gonna be a bit premature for him to win here, but I don't think so. I think LA Knight needs to have a belt. So yeah, you can go. So I'm going Cody Rhodes the first match. That being
I'm going to talk
said,
about. Mm-hmm.
wait, hold on. We know about WWE's booking, right? And the way they book the go home show. So next week Friday is going to be very interesting because I watched SmackDown like not even 30 minutes ago. I watched the end of it, and I don't see if this was, let's say, if Crown Jewel was happening tonight. There's no way I see LA Knight going over Roman Reigns after beating him up on SmackDown. So I'm putting a little pin in this one, right? I'm going Cody Rhodes, but it depends on what happens with the rest of the matches. And that's what I like about the way everything is shaping up at the moment, everything has a little bit of a thread going into another story. So you can't just like say, like our old prediction videos, we used to like do them as an isolated match on the card. We would talk about
Mm.
like 6 matches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in fact, just the peek behind the curtain, that's what we used to do, like going into one of our prediction videos. We would go through like, okay, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't do that anymore. You have to be able to talk about this match and the way it ties in to the John Cena match, and then that match then ties into the tag match, and then that match then ties further on. I love it.
And we're not tied down to actually a sort of game where we're scoring points and we have to get it right, or we're going to eat cheese puffs at the end of the year.
Well, I still won that first year. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm the reigning defending champion as far as the prediction game was concerned.
You basically
Because
you
because buddy, I can think
you
like Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's some good shit, pal.
you forgot something. Why are you just standing there? Give me pictures of Spider-Man. God damn it!
Shut up. I knew that was coming, and I should have seen that.
So going on to our Twitter, we had votes. 100% people voted for. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
Oh, we can't see
100%
that.
of the people, 100% of the people voted for Cody Rhodes. Basically, nobody has faith in Damian Priest to win.
No, no. No, wait. Here's the thing. I'm going to put a pin in that one as well. We have faith that he's probably cashing in. So it makes sense for him to lose here and win later on in the night.
That is the trend with Money in the Bank guys. They continuously lose matches, and the night that they lose a match, they always end up cashing in.
And
Like it's
if you
a
think about it, right, there hasn't been any major title change at Saudi for a while. And I think maybe they're going to want to heat it up to like, it's possible. It could happen.
when was last was their title change? I mean, we can't talk about Night of Champions. The inaugural world title was obviously it's not a change; it was
Well,
crowning
not
of a
this
champion.
year. Not this year. Well, Reigns hasn't lost anything for a while. So, yeah, neither of the major belts have moved. Gunter has been in charge, has had the title for ages. It's Ray.
Gunter is not actually booked on this card. That's
No, there's no
strange.
IC title. Because I'm actually, the site that I'm using to read the card off, he's probably going to headline Bash in Berlin.
Oh, but wait, Bash in Berlin's next year.
Yeah,
So then, okay, no, I get it. Because
long-term booking. Just
long-term
keep him
booking,
off
yeah, I get it.
TV.
So, like you were saying about the World Heavyweight Championship, yeah, that makes sense because that is the title that his father,
Yeah.
never lost. But there was a face-off. I think it was on SmackDown a few weeks ago where Cody and Roman had a face-off. I don't know if you remember. Cody was exiting the ring with Jey Uso
Oh,
after a
yes, yes,
tag
yes,
match,
yes.
and Roman was entering, and they had a face-off on the stage.
Look, but that's
Why
the
would
thing.
you do
That's what
something
they've
like
done. That's what WWE is doing, and that's why I like it so much at the moment. That's why I like wrestling so much at the moment in general. It feels like the Monday Night Wars all over again, but without the direct rivalry. Everything is hot at the moment. Everything is hot. If we look at things objectively, sorry, tangent time. If we look at things
that? Yeah.
objectively, right? There's never been a better time to be a wrestling fan. We've got long-term story booking. We've got a champ that's been at the top of his game. Whether you want to say that Roman is barely defending that title or not, you want to see him. You want to see him week to week. We've got Seth Rollins doing his thing. We've got crowd interaction. We've got LA Knight. We've got everything covered.
Yeah.
We've got tag matches. We've got cruiserweight stuff happening. We've got the LWO that reformed. We've got Yes. Have you seen that? Go back,
Where?
go back and watch the Dragon Lee and Cedric Alexander match.
It doesn't count. It's not actually a cruiserweight
For
division.
me, it does. For me, it does. The way those guys were flying around, it counts. And then over on the other side, then we've got NXT and AEW that are going like head to head. Would you have believed a few years ago that The Undertaker, of all people, would have shown up to close out NXT? On the other side, you've got the stuff with MJF, and you've got the stuff with MJF and Adam Cole that's happening on the other side. This past week was just absolutely hilarious. Roderick Strong in that neck brace and the wheelchair is absolute comedy gold. You can't write anything better. I mean, I know we can poke holes from the side, like there's an occasional thing like the stuff we were talking about with Keith Lee. But aside from
Mhm.
that, guys, it's amazing. There's like stuff happening everywhere. Simon Miller, the guy from What Culture, just by the way, debuted on Impact Wrestling this weekend. Spoiler alert, I know, sorry. But a YouTuber has basically debuted for a major promotion. Impact Wrestling is no longer Impact Wrestling, just by the way. Sorry, I need to correct myself. It's TNA again.
It,
How
it,
awesome
it
is
technically
that?
is still until January. That's when
I don't care.
the show.
For me, it's TNA. It's TNA. It's back. It's the one that basically. Okay, for those of you that are gonna watch this later on, TNA and specifically the broken mat stuff is the reason why I met up with all of these guys because of one post that Pete made, and then Pete knew the rest of them, and that's how I met everybody else. Just another look behind the curtain. But yeah, for me, I'm in wrestling heaven right now. I try and watch as much as possible. I don't get around to everything, but yeah. Okay, move along quickly
And and
before I go off on
and
another
just
tangent.
so you guys know, Simon Miller is actually the brother of Philip and Marks. Philip and Marks, the newsreader on Paper News. If you guys don't know who that is, Jeremy looks
Is
lost.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I am, but I'll figure it out later on.
just type in K-Pip News on YouTube. There's actually Simon Miller's brother, Philip and Marks, is there. He calls himself Flip and Marks, but it's Philip and Marks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, I agree with you that it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. It was also a great time to be a wrestling fan in 2016, in 2002, in 1990, 1980. So yeah, anytime that wrestling is great, it's good. That's good. And yes, it is going to finish at WrestleMania 40. We're having it in Philadelphia, in the city of Philly. That's an interesting thing. Why am I doing this? Why am I talking about this? I do this. So I take notes and I just come and attack everything
Yep.
afterwards. And I'm sure a certain former major player is glad about the fact that there's no tag team matches here because he absolutely despises tag team matches. And I just
I
recently found
still
out,
don't understand that. I still
and
don't understand. I don't understand it.
honestly,
This is
watching
this
Bound
is
for Glory,
this is obviously a man that never grew up watching the Legion. No, he did.
no, he
He
was only
grew
born
up
in
watching
80s.
Demolition and you know what the best part is? One of the people that he always talks about is Coco Beware. He loves Coco Beware. He absolutely worships at the altar that is Coco Beware. And essentially that's what he was. He was a tag team specialist.
Yeah, with he was also in a tag team with the Nugget. You know,
Not touching
so
that.
just
Not touching that one.
yeah, and like you said about the multi-man matches, WrestleMania 2000. What a wonderful pay-per-view that was, huh? Every man is multi-man. So moving on along, we're gonna go on to the other singles match on the card that was announced on SmackDown. That is the greatest of all time, John Cena versus
No,
the
no, let's
Enforcer, Solo
we're doing that
Sikoa.
one now. Okay, fine. Let's do that. Let's do that. I've got a
Oh,
few
do you want to
thoughts.
do something else? You can do that.
No, you go on this one, then I'm gonna jump in.
So yeah, why do I sound not happy and interested about John Cena? I used to be a fan of John Cena. Which John Cena? That's a question you should be asking yourself. The Thugonomics John Cena, the one that came out and rapped every week. The moment he stopped rapping, the moment he beat JBL at WrestleMania 21 and stopped his rapping gimmick, is the day I stopped being a fan of John Cena. I turned into the ECW guy that threw the shirt right back at Cena when he threw it into the crowd at One Night Stand. That's who I am. I don't, nothing against Cena as a person. I just don't like him as a wrestler. And here's the thing about me. When I don't like you, I stick to the fact that I don't like you, even if you're not in wrestling, even when you are in wrestling, I still don't like you. There's a reason why a certain troll doll who no longer wrestles, who wanted to call himself a cruiserweight at one time, I still don't like him. If he popped up in TNA, I would still hate his guts. If he popped up in my music video on YouTube, I'd be the guy who dislikes the music video and comment something terrible in the comment section. That's me. That's how terrible I am. So yes, I'm not a fan of John Cena. Never liked him. There's a certain other guy that was born in the same month and year as me, who used to be part of our little group, who was the biggest fanboy of John Cena. Good luck to him. Fantastic. I'm not him. I am me. I don't like John Cena. I like Solo Sikoa to a certain degree. I do like him. What I don't like about Solo Sikoa is the fact that he tries too hard to be Umaga. And I think someone needs to tell him that he will never, so long as he lives, ever fill the big ass shoes of Umaga. Okay?
It's called
Jerry's
a
calling for a
tribute.
timeout, so I'm going to
Calm
cool it up
down.
for a second. Talk.
Okay, first of all, I've always liked John Cena. I've always liked him. I like the fact that he's one of those extremely. He's like me. He's literally a positive Pete guy. It doesn't matter if you boo me or not. I don't care. I'm fine with that. It looked like you were taking a swig of vodka or something from that.
Might as well at this point.
Okay, but listen, right? I've liked John Cena. I mean, even after you guys have told me some horror stories with the whole Alex Riley thing and everything else, I've been fine. I've always liked him. I've always liked him. I think it's the 80s wrestling fan in me that I've got like literally he's he's got that I'm loath to say this, but he's got that almost Hogan-esque way of working. He's got that Shawn Michaels way of working where you know that the moment that Shawn Michaels does a specific chain of moves, then the next thing he's gonna do is go up, go for the diving elbow, and then come down, super kick time. Same thing with Hogan. Same thing with Cena. To a certain extent, same thing with Austin. Same thing with The Rock. Same thing with Triple H. And that's what makes you sort of elevates your game when when you actually bring your crowd in where they can tell you, okay, Booker T is going to go for the split leg, the split kick, and then he's going to go for the spinner Rooney, and then he's going to go for the bookend. We know that's his moveset. And I don't know why people hate. Well, for me, I don't know why they hated on him because he got the crowd going. He got like they were into his match because they knew what was coming next. Okay, yes, 5 moves of doom and everything else. And I think a lot of the flip side is the people that he was wrestling against. And I think you know who I'm talking about that had like extended move lists. You had no idea what was coming out. And I like those guys as well. I do like a Daniel Bryan. Oh, Bryan Danielson, sorry. I like the guys that have these extensive move sets and able to move like as and when it comes. But at the same time, I do like Cena. I do like Solo Sikoa throwing out family love for Umaga. I've got no problem with that. He's done his own spin on it. I mean, there's a lot of moves in there. I think the spinning solo. I think Umaga did a version. Did well. It was the spinning heel kick back in the day, and everybody did it. At one point in the 90s, Vega used to do it. Um, Sean Waltman, aka 123, aka 6, aka whatever, did a version of it as well. Um,
The X.
I'm trying to think. of a wrestler in the 90s that never tried to do well. I think Scott Hall never did that. But yeah, back in the 90s, the early part of the new generation, everybody was doing the spinning heel kick. I've got no problem with the tribute guy. Same way I don't have a problem with LA Knight. If you're going out there, if you can get the crowd behind you, man, we have a guy over on AEW who has the crowd behind him by putting his hands in his pocket. He puts his hands in his pocket and people go nuts. Just think about this for a second, right? Yes. And it's not even that, it's like that.
Yeah,
It's like,
I think that's
yeah. We, we, we went through a phase where everything needed to be this hyper realistic version of wrestling, which I was also behind with.
gave us a thumbs up when we said that. Somebody just gave us a thumbs up on the screen as we did this.
I mean, think about this for a sec, right, Nashville? At one stage, we had all of these UFC guys. We had Dan Severn. We had like
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock, and I see those guys. They can work. They can work within an organization. They make it look realistic. But then we also need goofy wrestling. We need to understand the thing that we like is
Is the
scripted.
gobbledygook.
There we go. Even that worked to a certain extent. I mean, not at the time, but if we look at it now, do you know? Now we were talking about Simon Miller, right? And he always talks about Repo Man. Do you know what a golden character that was? If you really think about it, it was basically a guy running around. Do you remember what Repo Man had on his tights? Just by the way, can you remember?
There was some writing
No,
or
no,
something on
it
it.
wasn't writing. There was tire
Symbol.
treads going across. There was a tire
What?
tread. So basically, Repo Man used to go around at some point, repoed somebody's car and they ran over
Yeah.
him and he just wore the same shirt or the same gear all the time. Right? Think about the characters that we have liked over the years. You mentioned John Cena. You liked the fact that he was a wrestling rapper. Right? Just think about that. Think about the fact that we had a guy that thought he was a truck. Diesel used to actually come out to a truck horn and then basically do that the entire time. Right? We've
Yeah.
had wrestling plumbers, we've had wrestling hockey men, we had
The goon.
Goldberg that I'm sure that thought that he was some type of cyborg from the future. I have no idea, but we had a guy. We were absolutely enamored with a man that was a zombie, and then he decided that he was going to be a biker, and then he burnt his entire family, and his brother had was so sure that he had scars, but they were emotional scars when they actually took them off. And the scariest part about Kane wasn't when he was a wrestler, it was when he actually became a politician. That was when the real scary part of his character came out. But anyway, I digress. But just think about this for a second. There's so much of things that I see no problem. There's very little things in wrestling at this point in time that I have a problem with, to be honest, to be very honest with you. I just Solo Sikoa is shouting out his family. He's using the Simone Spike. He's coming out as his Us, as Umaga. And if you hear some of the stuff that they talk about, I mean, that was big in his family. But that being said, John Cena's not losing this. Cena's losing this. And if I just point this out to you, um, Crown Jewel has always been like a glorified house show. They sending the crowd happy. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the main event, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if they opened with this or if they closed with this.
Open. Not a main event. Roman's
Yeah.
gonna main event.
Okay.
My problem with Cena isn't the fact of his moveset. I totally get it. All wrestlers have a moveset. My problem is that he's generic and he spits corporate garbage. And I suppose the way that you would be for Cena is the same way I am for certain other wrestlers. We were not going to name them. Some
Yeah.
of them are from AEW days. So
Okay.
we're gonna leave that at we're
Let's
gonna
not
leave that
get
way
into that on live. We'll do that on WhatsApp the way we
then.
normally do.
And you missed the opportunity when you were talking about spins and spinning heel kicks. That
I
John
left it
Cena
alone.
would
I
spin on
left it
everything.
alone.
Even that.
I left it alone. I saw it there. I did see it, but I chose to be non-violent, like you never do. I chose the other way.
You don't, of course you couldn't see it because you're backing the guy that you can't see, obviously. But yeah, on the prediction side, I'm with you on the Cena is winning this for two reasons. Number one reason, we're in Saudi. The fans have to be happy. Solo's not built up to a point yet where he can't be defeated at anything.
Yeah,
And
but
the
then
second reason,
yeah, okay, go.
and the second reason why Cena's going to win is because they just mentioned it on SmackDown. He has not won a match for 2002 days.
That's
Although
it.
I'm sure some people would wish
Correct.
he never won since 2002 when he debuted. But nevertheless, 2002 days, he's lost a match.
Yeah,
Let's see. He's gonna get his mojo back. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about Mojo Rawley. Speaking of Mojo Rawley, actually, I found out something interesting on watching Bound for Glory last week. And this is gonna tie in with the Zack Ryder thing. Do you know that they referred to Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins as a tag team called the Major Players? That is gimmick infringement, in my opinion. Kurt
no, and that's
Hawkins,
wrong as well because the major players was Titus O'Neil and
no, that's
oh,
Time Players.
Prime Templar. Oh goodness gracious me.
Darren Young. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guy who came out of the closet when he was hiding in for so many years. He was hiding in the closet with Pat Patterson, apparently.
Black John Cena.
So, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder are stealing our gimmick of calling themselves the Major Players. This is gimmick infringement. We
That
need a legal
is
ball on it.
that is. I'd like to see when they actually used it from. That would be interesting.
Yeah, moving on. We're going to go to the WWE United States Championship match. The Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio versus everybody's favorite YouTuber Logan Paul. Jeremy,
Should I
take
go?
it
I
away.
want to go. I want to go. I want to go. I heel turn. Heel turn. The LWO is going to screw over Rey Mysterio, and Logan Paul wins this belt. Dude, if you've been watching Santos's face recently, if you've just watched Santos Escobar's face recently, in fact, there's a possibility that they do a split. That the original Legado comes back and Ray Carlito and Zelina are part of the LWO. And then possibly they bring in another female. Maybe they go back to the original NXT version of him.
Electra Lopez.
Yeah. So yeah, no, this is plain and simple to me. I'm not getting in the reads on this one. I Logan Paul, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what else to say about him, man. I'm gonna try not to. I'm trying not to be too negative about him. The fact that he's going to be one of the highest profile YouTubers with the WWE title, I don't see it. I see it as a win. Um, yeah, I think Ray's just at that point now where he's elevating the people around him. Um, yeah, Rey Mysterio loses. I call shenanigans, and yeah, we're gonna see a split. If you and I can't believe you didn't see this. If you've watched Santos recently, if you've watched Escobar recently, his facial expressions, the man's face has been like on Roman Reigns levels of like expressiveness, where he's just like um when they got jumped, after he lost to Ray, and the what the Street Profits. When the Street Profits jumped in, right?
Mhm.
You know, when Bobby said you guys need to do something, if you saw his face on that night, I actually thought just before that he was going to turn heel, that he was going to clock Ray at that point, right? That was one. Two, um, they had a backstage segment recently where they were talking, and Ray told Santos, "No, you're not coming out. He's gonna go and sort this out." Yeah, last week when he was talking when he went to the ring, go back and
Mhm.
watch Santos Escobar's face when he basically told him not to come out. And then as well, I think when Carlito actually came in and he like played it close to his chest and didn't tell anybody else who he got. The heel turn is coming, man. This thing has been brewing for ages, for ages. And it's been done so well. It's done so well. It's like it's there. It's there, and it's not
But
like
how do you explain what happened on SmackDown just recently? I mean, Ray got jumped by Logan, and Santos literally sent Carlito back for the save. Like, I mean, you could look at it as though Santos didn't want to go make the save himself and decided to continue the match. But then why
yes,
would he care that Carlito go and do the save? You know?
because Carlito is Ray's boy. Carlito was brought back by Rey Mysterio. So it's there. It's right. Come on, Nash. It's right there. You can see it. Come on. Open your mind. Open. And my booking is not like other people that we know who do tinfoil booking. My booking is legit. My booking works sometimes.
Yeah. They say they agree to wear a tinfoil hat and they only wear it once and never again, you know? Certain people.
I'll get him.
What's
I'll
the
get him for
name?
that. At some point, I will get him for that.
Looking at the Twitter, a lot of people are in agreement with you. We have people who voted, and this one's funny because here's how the predictions stand for on the Twitter for Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. People are literally saying that Rey Mysterio has a 33 and a third chance of winning, which means Logan Paul has a 66 and two-thirds% chance of winning.
Really,
So
a
guys, go to
33
the
and a
Twitter.
10% chance of winning. Is that really where
Logan,
we're going?
God. But that means if you add his right hand to the mix, that's going to give him a 66 and an 8 and a third chance of winning.
And then if you take into account Santos Escobar,
And he's not even going to try.
dude, let's move on. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Listen,
This is
I'm going with Logan Paul for the win. My only concern is that what Logan Paul signed a contract, right? This means he's only got a few matches a year. He's gonna sit at home with that US title. And the
basically,
only mid champion that's credible left is Gunter. Literally.
yeah.
This leaves SmackDown without a mid card. This leaves SmackDown literally without a mid card title to be facing. That's my only concern.
I,
But
I I know that, but the fact of the matter is they're going to need to do something with that title, and right now, putting it on a big social media guy makes more sense than. And this is gonna sound weird. It makes more sense than putting it on Ray right now.
I was shocked when Ray won. I really
Hmm?
was. I was like, why is Ray winning the title, a mid card title at this stage of his career? But then I likened it to John Cena winning it. Or even worse, Bret Hart winning the title in 2010 when he was, what, 50, 60? I don't know how old he was. He looks like a grandma. Have you seen what Bret Hart looks recently now? He looks
No,
like my
I'm fine,
grandma.
thanks. I'm okay. I'm okay. I was a Bret Hart for fan of Bret Hart for a while, but I'm definitely a Shawn Michaels guy. There's no other way to do it.
So you're happy about the screw job?
eh, I'm happy about lots of things.
Let's move on before we get the crowd upset. The WWE Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, the recently returned Bianca Belair, is going to be challenging someone who I think, even though he looks Asian, could probably be a South African at this point. Because when I look at her name, I don't see Io Sky, I see Io Sky. That's what I see when I look at her name. So here's my thoughts on it. Io Sky is winning. I don't see
Yeah.
Bianca getting the title
No.
again. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense for Bianca Belair to get the title this soon, just after returning. I mean, it's not like she's going after another redemption story. She's had her time in the sun. She's won both the Raw and the SmackDown title at separate WrestleManias. She's retained it. She's had long runs. Io Sky's winning. That's it. That's all I gotta say. I mean, this is going to be a good match. It's going to be a good match. I think Damage Control definitely getting involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the only other thing I can say is that the women are going to be fully clothed. It's going to be a very sad day in watching this match
I'm
with
not
your
touching
Sky.
any of those clothing related jokes that you have for
God
obvious reasons.
forbid. God forbid you show your stomach and then the prince is sitting in the front row, you know. All how
No,
ridiculous.
I'm actually trying to charge this phone and speak at the same
I
time. But
saw you
anyway,
moving around. I thought you were shooting a music video. You know, one of those music videos the camera constantly moves around.
sorry about that for the people with motion sickness now. Look, as much as I like Bianca Belair, and at the same time, I never understand what she's saying because I'm not young enough to get any of those references. I swear to you, there's times where she's like cutting promos, and I'm like, I think this is what the young people sound like now, anyways. So,
Oh God.
yeah, he's going. EO is going to retain lots of shenanigans in this match. Lots. I think we could also possibly see um, Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka probably revisiting their whole rivalry. Maybe they team up. Maybe they team up to go after Damage Control. 3-on-3. Where's Dakota Kai as far as her injury is concerned? But yeah, I see this happening. I could see this happening. But Io Sky wins, man. I just hope there's no trash cans involved. Those never end well.
You're never gonna let that one go, huh? You're never
Never.
gonna let that
I watched. That was like the first NXT like pay-per-view that I ever watched, and there's this weird lady that got into a trash can and threw herself from the top of a cage. It was still. You remember this? You were still trying to get me to watch Black and Gold at that point in time, and that was like one of the first pay-per-views that started, and I was like, "What is going on here? I need to watch this."
You jumped on that bandwagon way too late. You caught like the very tail end of it. Like
But I was
I,
still fine because that was cool. Everything was still cool.
if I had to say what was my favorite NXT takeover, I would have to go back to 2016 November and say that NXT Takeover Toronto in 2016, Chef's Kiss good. Before that, the 2014 ones, Rival, Our Evolution,
Look,
absolute.
I've watched some of the older stuff since. I mean, I've tried to catch up on some of the older stuff. Um, the one match that they had with Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole, with the whole where the whole monster truck was involved. I can't remember the name of it right now. That was
Yeah,
quite good. It was quite
back,
good.
yeah.
There was some very interesting NXT stuff when I started going back and looking at it.
By far, the best Velveteen Dream feud had to be with Ricochet.
Yep,
And
I've seen that. I've
second
seen that
best,
promo. I think
the
everybody's seen
second,
that promo.
the second best would be Aleister Black. Say my name. That one was banger. But I think the reason why I like the 2014 pay per view, one of the like more, is because my favorite wrestler at the time, and still now my second favorite wrestler, was the NXT champion.
Okay.
Don't say anything. Don't
I didn't say
stop.
anything. I didn't
Don't.
say. I said nothing. I
I
would just
saw
like to
it
watch.
in your eyes. I
I
saw
need
it
to
in your
actually
glass.
check with my wife after this if she feels like watching Lord of the Rings for like several hours.
I saw Lord of the Rings playing in your glasses. That's why I said don't say anything. I saw it already coming a mile away. Let's move on before I get heated up. The Women's World Championship Fatal Five-Way Elimination Style. I love that it's elimination. The
This has the possibility to be a show stealer.
yes, yes,
If
yes,
I look
yes.
at these ladies, they all, and in fact, if I look at their names, right? If I look at
Mhm.
all of them, they all, this is going to be a power match. This
Yes.
is going to be a ridiculously stiff power match.
And I'm
And
going to be stiff the entire time watching it. Stiff in
really,
place, watching the match. Stiff in place, watching the
okay, we're
match.
gonna
Which
allow
might
that.
be.
We just stop it now. But anyway, look, there's no way Rhea doesn't come out of this still with the title. There's no way. Um, I am very interested to see how Shayna and Raquel get on in this whole thing. That
Why
being
them?
said, I don't know. There's just something about the two of them. I think they have something there that could work.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously, I'm happy Nia Jax is back. Um,
Coming.
Zoe Stark, Zoe Stark might be the flippy dippy one in this match. Zoe Stark is
She
probably going to be the one that's going to bring the speed in. But aside from that, I see all power players in here.
yep.
Everybody's everybody that I've watched, I know well enough to know that they're all just the power game. But Ripley wins. There's no way. I want Ripley to have the level of championship run that Reigns is having with the Universal title. I want her to be like this purely unstoppable thing. And I don't mind if like directly after this match that they write everybody off TV and say they're all injured after this match. Exactly what she said going into it to say that the women's division is going to be 4 people less after that match. Write everybody off TV. They all got injured. Rhea Ripley is a monster. She's taken 4 people out of the off TV for a while. Make her the beast that she needs to be. I do appreciate the mommy character. Let's let's say this starting. I do appreciate the fact that she's excellent on TV,
Mm.
and I love the stuff that she's doing with Judgment Day. But I think they've dropped the ball just a little bit on her women's title reign to concentrate on the Judgment Day stuff.
That being said, I would have liked if Twitter allowed me to put 5 options. I would have liked to have seen what the people would have thought about this match. But I mean, it's clear, it's evident. Rhea Ripley is winning. None of these
Yeah,
women are built up to the point where any of them are going to hold the title or take it
and
off
that's
Rhea
really
Ripley.
sad. I think they've dropped the ball with Baszler again. I think they've dropped the
Yes.
ball with Baszler again.
They had the perfect opportunity after that feud with Ronda Rousey. She was so
Exactly.
red hot. She was red hot.
And whatever that
And
match was, that whatever that retirement match was, I still haven't gotten over that, and I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it was probably the most confused as a wrestling fan that I've been the entire year, just watching that match. I don't know what it was supposed to be, dude. Seriously, there was it was like it's like Shayna Baszler is being written. Her storylines are all being written by Vince Russo. Like seriously, nothing makes sense with her. Nothing. Like one week they are pushing her as this absolute monster heel, and she's going to take everybody out. And then the next week they just don't bother. It's like, wait, oh wait, we need someone else for this match. Shayna's around. This
throw her
is this
in
is what
anywhere.
just anywhere.
The thing I'm looking forward to most about this match, there's actually two things. Is actually want to see Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez go at it at some point, just for the NXT nostalgia. I don't know if you were watching or if you're aware that Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez actually had a feud over the NXT Women's Championship on
Yes,
NXT,
yes, they
and
did.
there was a spot where they plunged through the stage. Literally, they were fighting. I think it was a last woman standing or something, and
I
Rhea
do
Ripley
remember that.
literally pushed Rodriguez to the stage. That was a wow moment. That's why I just want to see that, just to reminisce over that. Rhea Ripley's winning. Oh yes, and the second reason why I'm looking forward to this match is because it's in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I want to see how tight Nia Jax's outfit is going to look. Moving on to the World Heavyweight Championship match. It's going to be the chosen one, Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins. Going on to Twitter, it's unanimous. 100% voted for Seth Rollins. There's a big 0 and a percent sign next to Drew
And that's so
McIntyre's name.
that's so depressing. That's so depressing that we had this man that basically carried us through the entire time we were on lockdown. He beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He beat Brock Lesnar clean at WrestleMania. The following night, he beat Big Show. And this is the guy that's basically now he's going up against Seth Rollins. Yes. Okay, let's start at the top. Seth Rollins is going to win this match. But just think about this for a second. It comes back to the whole Shayna Baszler thing. Drew McIntyre should be posed as this heel, as this absolute monster heel, or even for that matter, a monster face. He should be that monster face. He should be that guy that when he goes into the ring, you know he's going to win. There's no way that he's not going to win. But here we are. But that being said, I am going to add a little bit of an asterisk next to mine. Seth Rollins does win. Drew McIntyre turns on him post-match, beats the crap out of him, leaves him in a mess, cash in. Yes,
I knew you were going with that. It's no money in the bank. He's going to
it,
catch
it
in.
has it has to be. It has to be. I don't see it working at any other point. And then that is going to
Who's the
set
most
up,
credible candidate for Rollins? Nobody.
and
There's
that's
no
going to
breakup yet.
set up. That's going to set up Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania next year.
I'm just disgusted at that idea. We're sitting in October, and you're talking about March or April whenever WrestleMania is happening, and I'm
Dude,
like,
it's going to
this is
happen.
not credible.
It's going to happen. It's going to
That
happen
means
because remember, Damian Priest is going to have to hold on to this title for a while to solidify himself as a legitimate champion. Now's the best time.
But that means Damian Priest is going to have to break away from the Judgment Day because Finn Balor, the de facto leader, is not going to have someone who
And that's
is.
why JD McDonough is going to come in as well.
Yeah, they're dragging that out way too long. He needs to come in already. I mean, he's the one who gifted Damian with that purple briefcase. They're taking way too long with that.
Way too long. Way too long. Because I see them pulling the trigger on some of these things at Crown Jewel to refresh going forward.
I'm with you on that one. I have no faith that Drew McIntyre is going to win. Seth Rollins is going to win and retain the title. And I'm just looking ahead. I mean, we've got the awards happening in December. Drew McIntyre is an actual nominee or contender for least improved, least improved of the year.
How can we say that about Drew McIntyre? of all people. Just think about
Well,
it
how
for
did it
a
come
second.
into this? I
It's
mean, since he
literally Shayna
returned,
Baszler booking. It's
since
Shayna
he
Baszler.
returned in 2017, he was the hottest thing on NXT. Then he comes to the main roster, gets stuck with Braun Strowman and Dolph Ziggler, called War Dogs or Dogs of War or
But he
something,
still made that work.
and he
He's
still made it
literally
work.
one of those guys that makes everything they give him work, regardless of what they give him.
At one point, they even called him what, the Scottish psychopath. He had the Glasgow kiss, and let's try and forget about the whole Nessie and the sword story. That was
Oh
terrible,
God.
attacking and destroying Jinder's bike, and he went through it. He really went through it all,
They are
and he carried
they
that through the
but
COVID
but
period.
this is going to be interesting because this actually sets up his heel turn. I'm calling another heel turn. Actually, what I would prefer is for him not to go heel, for him to go monster face, and I think he's got the range to pull it off. For him to go
No, I mean,
tweener,
both of them.
for
It's
him to
clear as day. It's gonna come here.
sorry,
It's clear as day that he's going to turn heel. Like,
yes, but I'm just saying there's another option. There's another option instead of going heel because the crowd is still behind him. He's still behind him. And if he goes out and if he does the whole, oh no, the fans weren't behind me and everything else, you are going to end up with the whole situation we had with Becky Lynch. Where you're going to push the fans away and the fans are actually going to be like, no, but we like this guy.
that
And then
could
you push
that
him
could
as
yeah.
then you push him as this monster tweener where he's like, I'm just here to kick ass. I don't care who about Seth Rollins or anybody else. These people love me. I'm here to do things for the people. Boom.
Do the Austin thing, yeah. Basically be that
And
anti-hero.
Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre, I promise you, if you watch McIntyre, he's got the look, he's got everything that pushes him as a monster face. He can
The only thing I would
basically
like,
be he can basically be what they were trying to get Braun Strowman to be.
the only thing I would like is for them to change his theme song back to Broken Dreams. I'm not a fan of this swords and then there's a whole bam, 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 with these freaking Scottish bladder
I don't know.
pipes.
I like
No,
it.
it's not.
I
I
like the color
despise it.
scheme more than that. More than that, it actually
Broken Dreams is better, man. Come on. Don't let
it
the
could work.
fans down.
It could work. Okay, okay, it could work.
Moving on to the final match announced as of right now, the main event, what we all expect to be the main event, the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus, you know what whose game it is. Will everybody say it with me? L.A. Knight. Yeah. I'm gonna let you go first because I know you have a lot to say about this one. You put a
Dude.
pin in it earlier.
Okay, so what I've done is I've planned this entire event leading up to this one.
Mm-hmm.
I want LA Knight to win. I would like LA Knight to win. That being said, I don't think if they do the whole thing with the World Heavyweight Championship, I don't think that belt is coming off Reigns anytime soon. The problem is I don't know how LA Knight wins and still looks strong.
You mean how he
Unless he's
loses and stuff?
sorry, how he loses and still looks strong. That
Unless
being said, he's probably going to take a beating at that go home show. He's probably going to take. He's probably Friday night. He's probably going to have a beating just to balance out what happened this week and what's going to happen at the pay-per-view. But yeah, man, there's no way. There's no way Reigns wins. We're probably going to see shenanigans. We're probably going to see Jay involved and Jimmy involved and Solo involved and Cena involved and maybe
yeah, everyone. The whole roster is going to be
maybe
involved.
there's a miscommunication and Cena or oh, War Games. is how we get war games.
Yeah.
This is how we get war games. Team Reigns versus Team Knight. Dude, you do know that at one Survivor Series we had Shawn Michaels and his Knights, right?
Don't do that to me. I had a look at that. But you mentioned this on a previous video. I went and researched it. I was disgusted at what I saw.
You need to go. The Knights, just the names of Shawn Michaels' Knights were just like,
The
wow.
Knights of the Templar.
No, and then if you want to really be weirded out, there was one year where Jerry Lawler was feuding with Doink the Clown. And Doink, and that is where you had Dink that came out. And basically, Jerry Lawler came out with a whole bunch of vertically challenged people. So did Doink. Wrestling has come
This
a way,
man was unstable.
Wrestling has come a far, far, far way. You do remember we had a WLC match one year, right?
Yeah.
And that's not long ago.
Actually, that was actually quite a good match.
It
I'll
was
give
a
them
good
that.
match, but I'm just saying to you, in pretty recent memory, we had a WLC match. Just saying, man.
El Torito. A guy running around, a midget running around like acting like a bull.
You're not allowed to use the M word.
What? The M word? I thought it was the N word I wasn't allowed to use.
No, you can't use that
He's allowed
either.
to use it. Only Booker is allowed to say it. Hogan, we're coming for you. I am still amazed at how well the video department was at one year when Booker T was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. They actually used that clip and they managed to edit that part out so well. Like the only part where he says, "We're coming for you," and then they just cut it right there. Like I'm amazed at how well they did that.
That's editing.
That's good editing. So you're going with the Roman Reigns for the win.
Roman, look, dude, Roman's not losing this title before Mania. There's no way he drops his title. As much as I would like to see Knight win that belt, there's no way. This match here is setting up War Games.
And it's also blowing off the steam that LA Knight has because his trajectory has been so high. The fans are so behind
I don't
him.
think it blows off the steam so much as it just puts it on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah, because his popularity it's skyrocketing too quick. It's punching too high right now. That you can believe he needs a title, but it can't. Based on the way it looks, Roman Reigns can't drop the title. Not until Mania.
Yeah, no way he is dropping that title now.
There's only one place Roman can ever drop a title, and that's Mania. But we've been saying that for years. We've been saying that for 3 years now, and he still hasn't dropped it. This is the fourth Mania he walks in as a champion.
And that is why you acknowledge him. That is why you acknowledge him.
This is what he should have done with Reigns in the beginning, instead of trying to manufacture his push at Rumble 2015. It was never going to work that way. It had to be organic.
You know that promo they cut on Saturday on well technically the go home the last match that we saw on TV. So if you think about it, it actually shows that Roman has come on just by the fact that they've allowed him to be him. He hasn't done anything. The whole suffering succotash thing, that was awful, man. That was awful. And if you think about it, we had this dude basically rammed down our throats all this time, and all that needed to happen was just for him to do things naturally and organically. And look at what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna close out with the same thing. I'm loving being a wrestling fan at this point in time. See no problems.
Looking at Twitter, it's it's surprising. It's people actually believe that LA Knight has a chance. There's a
And that's
50-50.
the thing as well. That's the thing because he's a legitimate threat. We could see him holding that belt. We could see him showing up next week Friday on SmackDown, and none of us would be surprised. None of us would be surprised in the least bit if LA Knight won it. And nobody would question even for a second if he was legitimate or not.
That's true.
Maybe they swerve us. Maybe they swerve us. Maybe they decide to pull the trigger a little bit early. Who knows? It's
As much as
Triple
I'm a
H, man.
fan of LA Knight, I don't see him winning.
I know that, but maybe Trips decides to troll us. Maybe he decides to troll us. Maybe he just goes just for a sec. Let's see what's going on. But the fact of the matter is, LA Knight is white hot at the moment.
You just gave me an idea. Actually, two things just came to my mind. They're doing this in Saudi. Number one, so that they don't get backlash from the fans, because the fans in America are the ones who are red hot behind him. Number two, what if they do a Daniel Bryan situation from Night of Champions 2013? The ref does a fast count, or maybe, like you said, with the shenanigans, the ref gets knocked out. Cena puts on the ref shirt and counts the 1, 2, 3. But then on the next episode of SmackDown, Nick Aldis, the Magnet Magnus, I'm craving for Magnum ice cream now, comes out and says that, look, Cena, you weren't the official. We didn't replace you. You put the shirt on. They made you an official, but it's not official. LA Knight, I have to take the title back and give it back to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the record is expunged. That is not counted as a loss against you. You are still the champion.
That's
Possible.
interesting because Cena has already refereed one of his matches.
That's what I'm saying. Do you see where I'm going with that?
I
He
see
could
where
put
you're
on the
going. I see where you're going. It's interesting. I don't
yeah.
think they go with it, but it could be interesting if they did. It
If
would be
they
very
did, yeah.
cool if they did.
Times it's times like this that we feel like we would be better at the booking head of WWE. But
No,
that's why we
I would be. I would be horrible at it, man. I would book the worst possible. If you think Vince Russo was bad, I would be really bad at it. Like every
if you
week,
are booking right now, Roman
you
Reigns would
would
hold all the
see,
titles in WWE.
yeah, every title would change every week. Like seriously,
He would hold the women's belt too, I bet.
you would literally have 17, 18 time champions. Tozawa would be a 40 time champion. I would put the belt on him every week. That man is a legend. My wife has not gotten over that scene that she saw with him and the weights. She's not. Like literally, yeah. She wa- she's sitting behind me here. Every
Steve.
now and then I will see her. She walks past me like that. She does that as she's walking past.
And I like how Xavier Woods, when he did that, he said, Tozawa, that's nasty. I want to see the Nasty Boys
Wait,
do that, like make
but now
cameo.
he's stolen
Nasty.
somebody's cup on NXT.
What about the
I was
cup?
watching. I was watching like bits from NXT from on Wednesday. He's stolen somebody's like cup or something. Somebody's got.
Oh yeah, I saw a clip of that. I didn't actually watch Halloween Havoc this week, but I did see a clip online or like a picture of him on NXT stealing something. What was
He
it?
stole somebody's cup. I can't. I don't know who it is though.
That's the only cup I can think of, the Heritage Cup. That's
Yes.
held by Garden Gnome Da. I call him Garden Gnome.
Well,
It
anyway,
comes from the place. I still don't know why you think that face Cedric Alexander is a bad idea. Have you not seen
no,
okay, you have like
no,
did
I
you not
haven't.
see the
That
34
promo,
kickoff where
that
he won the
promo
title?
on SmackDown has possibly been the most bland thing I've heard out of that man's voice in years. It is.
I
It was so generic. It was so bland.
Go.
No, no, dude, that was just bad, man. That was really bad. Go back and listen to that. After we're done,
That, yeah,
go back and
it
listen to that.
wasn't enough. It wasn't oozy enough for you.
Nope. Hell no.
All
Dude,
right,
was
guys.
this
So that is our predictions and our thoughts for WWE Crown Jewel 2023. Catch us again here next week, Saturday, 6 p.m. South African Standard Time. We're going to be doing the live watch along right here on Instagram of WWE's Crown Jewel. The last time we did this was for Night of Champions. It was the last Saudi show. That was way back
wow?
in May. Terrible, terrible of us. We've had so many opportunities
We're
since then. I mean, there was just
consistent.
an all-in. There was an all-in that happened, and nobody pitched up. So let's try and get more of these to the people. And based on how things go, you might possibly see some faces, new faces, fresh faces joining us on that watch along. We're working on it, but however it happens, next week, right here, Saturday,
It's
6 p.m., right here on
going to be
Instagram, is
interesting.
the watch along. It's going to be interesting. So stay tuned for that, guys. And we're going to try and give you more of these watch alongs, more of these predictions. So if you haven't already, if you're watching this on YouTube later on, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this right now on Instagram, like, follow, and yeah, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of the major players, the real major players, not the fake ones, not those fakesters, those wannabe major players, the real major players. I am, of course, the CEO of PWC, your boy Natural. I have been joined here by the legal boy Eagle Jeremy, and we'll see you again next week, Saturday, 6 p.m., live on Instagram. Pro Wrestling Central, we are out. Peace and chicken grease.
Cheers, guys. Later.